The Good Mother, written by Lara Feigel, read by Laura Piper. I am sitting at the kitchen table, persuading my children to eat, and I am every good mother and every bad mother who has done this over the past 100 years. Good mothers feed their children nutritious food. Good mothers know that if the broccoli does not get eaten, depletion and disaster will follow. Vegetables give your child energy. Eating vegetables can also protect your child against chronic diseases. Set a good example to your child by eating vegetables yourself. Good mothers feed their children healthy food. They keep their children safe, and they make sure their children are just the right mix of stimulated and calm as they do so. Good mothers probably don't allow their children to be on screens while they eat, as I am doing now. Because good mothers have set things up so that they are not called on to make the choice between broccoli and a screen-free supper time. Good mothers have historically tended to be alone while performing this task. Good fathers have tended to have somewhere better to be. But good mothers, nonetheless, stay with the fathers of their children, however trapped or neglected these good mothers are.
One must remember that to be a good mother involves not only looking after the children, but making and keeping a home for them with their father. Bringing up the children in the love and security of the home with both parents. Insofar as she herself, by her conduct, broke up that home, she is not a good mother.
So said the Right Honourable Lord Denning, the Justice of Appeal, in 1962, to a probably extremely good mother who nonetheless should have known better than to appeal to the law for understanding, or even for the application of the long-held legal principle that adulterous wives should not be punished by being deprived of their children.
Jenny! How you doing? Yeah, that's good. Oh, good to see you. You're right. I've just come up here because I've heard this story about a woman who abandoned her baby, and they sent a helicopter up here to search for her because she was a woman at risk, and they had like a heat sensor camera from the helicopter looking down. One second, let me just turn my music off. And they thought they saw this woman lying on the ground in the grass. When the heat blob sort of stood up, it was the shape of a puma, of a big cat.
It's got like this whole sort of like shape-shifty thing about it. And is this your Halloween costume?
Yeah, I'm on my way to a party. Okay, right, well, I've got these here if you want some.
What's your warning?
It says smokers' children are more likely to start smoking.
That's why I smoke. I always blame my mum and dad. Mine reduces fertility, which I'd much rather...
You receive?
I'd much rather reduce my fertility than my children smoke.
Yeah.
I just started crying constantly, and then I was just crying non-stop for like a year. No, I was, when I met him, I was crying all the time.
Yeah.
And then like the antidepressants were like an off switch. It was reminding me of the white woman tears.
What's the white woman tears? I don't know what that is.
Like, why do white women cry? And is it like a guilt thing? Or is it manipulative? And then ever since I read that, every time I cry with a man, why am I crying? Am I crying in a manipulative way? I mean, I'm crying because I feel like crying.
You're allowed to cry.
I guess we're like little princesses.
I guess we are, yeah.
Oh God, that's depressing.
I cried that time at Deb's house, and I cried
God, that really was white woman tears.
That was white woman tears. I'd given birth, but I'd also taken so much gas now. It was like being on a fucking bad trip. Like, all the nurses looked all like deformed and stuff every time they came into the room, and I was just tripping my head off and
denying the fact that there was massive red flags that went from love bombing right up to gaslighting.
Yeah.
How long do these take to work?
I don't know.
You think you're probably not meant to take them with booze?
Definitely not. You mong.
As in go to sleep?
Yeah, like you fucking, it's like a shit smack.
Oh, okay. I'll wait until later then.
What were those things that Marianne gave you?
Oh, that was totally different. That was like the ADHD things.
Yeah. That was weird. But you were like, I'm fine.
It's a midlife crisis. It's a nervous breakdown.
It's our age.
Just be there if you do your little trick that you do. If you can.
Mooning everybody. I'm mooning off the seat. Didn't piss on my cat tail this time. He was like, you're fucking obsessed with cancel culture. You're fucking cancelled. You're cancelled. Worst fight ever. I think I had long COVID. So he was like, oh, I'm so ill. Oh, poor me. Oh, I'm so ill. I was like, I'm fucking ill, Pete. I can't do anything about it. And that's when I lost it. When he does an impression of me in a fight, it's like, that's it. And I don't think I am obsessed with cancel culture.
I wonder what Dad's doing right now. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I wonder. He's like, do you know what Dad says when I say, I wonder what Mum's doing right now? And I'm like, no, what? He's like, probably smoking and getting drunk. I'm like, oh.
Pete just sent me a video of the girls eating food.
It's hot.
Right, what is it though?
Coconut rice.
Coconut rice. They're eating coconut rice. Oh my god. Prawn dal. Bloody hell, look. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Just hold it. Oh my god, imagine.
The minute someone talks about it, you get itchy, but...
I know. Oh shit. You do have eggs. Sorry. You're gonna have to treat yourself. Stay away from me. She walks from the console at sunset. Barely remembers her name. Walk is a little unsteady.
Remember?
But she knows most of all that she's living beneath the volcano. Won't be so many more days. Isn't much time and it's gathering darkness, my friend. She's been going too far in her drinking, running a little too fast. Eyelids becoming so heavy, sadly. And she tries not to sleep while she's living beneath the volcano. Won't be so many more days. Isn't much time and it's gathering darkness, my friend. Though the fireflies laugh in the dusk light,
Good mothers stay with their husbands. And if they don't, then a good mother might even sacrifice her children by sending them to live with the father she knows to have more resources to look after them. A good mother knows, after all, that she should stay at home with the children rather than working. Good mothers learn this from Dr. Spock, one of the many people making demands of what a good mother should be. Anyone who really loves her child, he said in 1970, can't talk casually about turning him over to a nursery or a commune or an individual for most of his waking hours during his first 3 years to allow his mother to work full-time. So, after decades of marriage, even if she is a modern mother, a working mother, a mother who has it all, yet still feels guilty for having it all, and wonders why she earns less than her husband, a good mother's resources will be rather limited, and she may well hand over her children to her possibly not all that good husband. Lord Denning wasn't unusual in blaming the mother for the end of the marriage. To be a good mother is to take the blame for everything. Yes, it's my fault you're having a bad day. Yes, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. You can't just say it, though. You must say it like you mean it. So a good mother is a good actor, because the good mother must also know that it's not actually her fault, because if it really was her fault, she would go mad with guilt, and good mothers are sane. That's the point, isn't it? To be a good mother is to be able to say, yes, it's all my fault. Because you know it's not your fault, but you know you can take it being your fault more than anyone else in the family can. And the good mother can take it because at the same time as battling over broccoli, she has somehow been selfish enough to allow herself to be a whole person. The good mother has taken the time. She has stolen it ruthlessly to make things and to throw herself into a lake or a bar or an office or another man's bed or whatever it is that makes her feel, yes, I am a whole person and I am not just a mother. And I can take this rage and this need from these willful, selfish people who I always love and sometimes hate.
Fran? Fran? Jenny, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Why slam me on the eyes?
Should I? Oh, yeah, I'll have that. It's a long story. You want to hear it? I just love an aperitivo. It's such a ritual, you know, in Italy, of course. The only analogy I can find for aperitivo is like when you're thinking of relationship, it's like the flirting or the preliminary.
I see.
And then the meal is the sex.
Okay.
And there's the anticipation as well of something happening. No, it's a catarato, non filtrato, and is natural. Well, there's a lot of idioms in Italian language related to food, of course. But there is this one that is like, translated in English would sound like, you have slices of prosciutto on your eyes or slices of salame on your eyes. So, avere le fette di prosciutto sugli occhi is that you're completely incapable of seeing the reality of a situation, being in love, of course, because when we know that when you're in love and starry-eyed, your judgment can be a bit more questionable. Not wanting to see certain things about the person you're in love with, because you have an idealized picture of that person when you're in love, and so you don't see the red flags.
Over that ridge and down on the way to Duddingston, and it's called the Wells of Weary, and groups of women would meet, and so it started a myth of the idea that there were some witches were meeting there.
This is quite relevant to the fact that today is Halloween as well.
She then received elaborate instructions about washing the ill man's shirt, which were communicated to Alan's wife. So that night, the patient's house shook in the midst of a huge and incomprehensible ruckus, apparently because the man's wife did not follow the instructions to the letter. So it's her fault.
Of course.
On the following night, the house was plagued by a mighty din again, caused this time by a great company of women.
I think Thomas was 3 months and I went away.
I remember.
Do you remember that?
You
That was
doing
quite
that?
radical looking back.
It was quite radical.
The ambivalence as well. When you said to me, did you miss him? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do miss your child when you're not with them. You've been raised with that idea of what a family is.
Yeah.
And you don't really have the strength or the kind of to question that when you're going through the motion of having a child, you know.
There's an interview with Marina Abramovich saying why she never had children.
Okay, yeah.
That they aren't compatible, and you would be split in two ways, and then one thing would suffer. Either your children would suffer or your art would suffer.
Apparently they don't drink as much.
No.
I mean, there must be a degree of binge drinking as well in the young generation, but maybe not as much as our generation.
No.
There was a fine line between empowering yourself and self-destructing yourself. And it's difficult to find that balance, isn't it? Going sober feels more radical than continue to party.
Yeah.
And so
we're the dinosaurs.
concern as well about becoming that drunken person at a younger crowd party. For her, not cooking, not like cleaning, and having someone else that could do that was probably a really important aspect of her emancipation. But that falls onto who? On another woman who was my grandmother, who was doing all that work. No! Oh!
All of the shit of having young children. Like, surely we can't be now about to hit the menopause, because that is just not fair.
It's gonna last for years, those old kind of turmoils and emotional up and downs and from the moment you get that first period, it's just like a journey of like pain.
Doris Lessing just embraced kind of the old woman thing. Like, she got the rugs on.
Yeah.
Got all kind
like,
of like no longer a sexual being. Can't imagine feeling liberated that way. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Put my headphones back on. I love you.
It was Winnicott who used the word hate, telling us that to be a good mother was in fact just to be a good enough mother. A mother is neither good nor bad, he wrote, nor the product of illusion, but is a separate and independent entity. The good enough mother starts off with an almost complete adaptation to her infant's needs, and as time proceeds, she adapts less and less completely. Gradually, according to the infant's growing ability to deal with her failure. Her failure to adapt to every need of the child helps them to adapt to external realities. his good enough mother. Could a woman have written this? This hopefully good enough mother wonders. Hates her infant from the word go. Because she feels dominated, exploited, humiliated, drained, and criticized by her baby. So, to be a good mother, or a good enough mother, is to have failed often enough to adapt to your children's needs, that you have taken time for yourself. And it's this that gives you the courage to take the blame. To be a good mother is to buy a spare coat for your son, because your ex-husband will forget or refuse to send his coat for the weekend. And when you stand shivering on a cricket pitch together, that will be your fault too. Quite apart from booking the cricket, which you should have guessed he would hate, because in his world, a good mother would just let him be on a screen all morning. In the world of good mothering, you read about online. To be a good mother is to limit screen time to 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day. No time at all a day, because to be a good mother is to have a full-time nanny.
With my Oxford t-shirt when I was 30. Your Oxford t-shirt, and this is part of my sweet fucking
a kind of a tongue-like shape from the soap, and then you stick needles in it and it stops people gossiping about you.
Well, I am. I'm just like an emotional person.
What's I mean? I'm not even going to that window.
A good mother needs to get away for a night. 2 nights. 7 nights at a time. But a good mother, a bad mother, a middling mother, may find that she spends those days wondering what her children are doing, where they are, worrying that they do not have sun cream on or that they are lonely at night, worrying that they cry unheard and are held responsible for their own helplessness. The good mother may even find herself taking a dishevelled teddy to bed with her at night, because her children are always there. They are always a part of her, and it makes her cry just to think about how this must be for the good mothers whose children are living wholly apart from them. This good mother, who is sometimes a bad mother, cries reading about how that famously bad mother, Britney Spears, pleaded with her housekeeper to bring her own children to stay overnight in the house because she was so lonely without her sons. They were 1 and 2 years old when they were taken from her. This good mother says those ages to herself again. 1 and 2. Britney had hit a journalist's truck with her umbrella. She'd driven away from another one with her baby cradled on her lap in the driver's seat. The experts on good motherhood were summoned. The problem is that unless Ms. Spears realizes the consequences of her behavior and the impact that it has on her children, nothing is going to be successful.
What have you got?
Well, I've just had a couple of these porn star martini nights. I've just been at work. But we had a bit of a thing afterwards.
Just on a run, and then I bumped into these people, and I drank too much, and I've just been acting like a total dick, and now I just have to go home.
What? You wouldn't have been a complete dick.
I was. These are good.
Yeah, quite nice.
You must be freezing.
I am fucking freezing.
You've got really stupid shoes on. Oh, they're nice, actually.
Thank you.
Actually
well,
quite nice.
I'm supposed to be a sexy mummy, so...
Oh, you are a sexy mummy.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
And I don't know whether I would have done anything differently.
I don't know.
If I had thought it through.
No, I guess not. No, not well, I think people do, and then they're like sort of on the Daily Mail is like, you know, painted as this horrific person for saying that or whatever. But because maybe it's something that's like very hormonal and you think you should do, and it's not very appealing, kind of
The joy is minimal.
And like for so long I was just trapped, you know, and I feel like that was obviously horrible. So like just kind of it was a bit of a head fuck, really.
I honestly do physically, literally see a kind of like soft focus, sparkly thing around somebody's face.
Yeah.
I actually just couldn't even cope with it. I was like, I am like physically melting.
My God.
It was so overwhelming.
Victorian women with the corsets like collapsing.
He says things like, oh yes, it's 100 times more powerful than heroin. I'm like, I'm not sure that any
Really?
scientifically. And I was to pick 3, and it was interesting. It was sort of fun. And then I kind of narrowed it down, and then I maybe narrowed it down to 6, and then eventually I narrowed it down to 3. Sexual intimacy, deep love, and I think maybe trust was in with deep love, and then it was attention and connection, like addiction, like sex and love addiction, but also like alcohol addiction.
Ultimately, it's all about connection, isn't it?
Being such a knob, and all these young people were there.
You think they thought you were a dick?
I felt like it. You've got such silly shoes on. How are you going to get home?
I don't know.
Right, you just have to take these.
Seriously?
Yeah, take them off.
What are you going to do?
I'm just going to go with my bare feet.
No way.
It'll be fine.
That's mental. How are you going to manage?
It's okay, it's just grass. It'll be fine.
No.
In fact, you're going to be freezing.
No, but you need to...
No. Take this.
It's freezing, you can't be...
No, but I'm running, so I'm going to get warm. I'm just going to give you these. What? Remember in the Olympics, that girl was told off for her pants being too small. And it became like the biggest news story of the Olympics. All right? Be safe. Take care. I'll be fine.
Mental.
I'll be fine.
Fucking hell. What?
A good mother knows all along that her husband has power over her through her children. A good mother knows that fathers do half the work of childcare, even when she sees no evidence of this. Because we are equal. Say it again and it may be true. We are equal before the law, and we are equal in practice. A good mother knows that there is no essential difference between mothers and fathers, that gender is a construction, that good fathers are perfectly capable of nurture, perfectly capable of remembering to send spare clothes to nursery and a packed lunch for the school trip, perfectly capable of doing the laundry at the same time as they play with their children. So what is a good mother to do with the knowledge that the good father probably won't in fact manage to do those things, and that it is only she who has given birth to this creature, only she who has felt another heart beating next to her own and been kicked from inside by another human being, only she who knows that this is her child, and that anyone who takes away this child, anyone who claims that gender is neutral and that children can thrive equally with either parent, is willfully self-deceived. A good mother is warm. She enfolds her children in her warmth. But a good mother is not too emotional. She is not hysterical. A good mother does not allow herself to wonder what will happen if warmth turns to heat, if a gentle fire becomes a volcano. Because a good mother knows that to love and to hate is powerful, that to take the blame is to bide her time while the rock melts and the magma flows inside her, and that one day she will erupt with all the rage and the passion of the centuries of good mothers who have been kept quiet.